front. Let's get it going whenever you're ready.
Yep, awesome. So I've started recording now. Hey Jake, how you going?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
Not too much, just starting our town hall. So I guess we'll get off with the big one. Core Alpha has started. We had our first testing yesterday. Went pretty successfully, I would think, for our first test run with community members. I think main ones we had were Quacken and Ziggy were in the crowd now, so they might be able to comment a little bit on it as well. We had ARC in there too, just to give it a nice little test run, and it's exciting. It's exciting that we're at this at this stage now. I know it might have felt like it's been a long time coming, but we're there. So that has started. We got another one straight after this town hall as well, and going to be doing them daily with select few members that we chose from the form that were filled out, plus a few, I guess, what you would call influential members of the industry to be able to battle test it and use it as a marketing tool. But did you have any comments you wanted to bring up on that, Jake? Or if anyone in the crowd had any questions, you can either raise your hand or drop it in Gen Chat or Holder Chat or.
Yeah. So first off, the testing of it, again, it's this closed group testing, and we'll kind of slowly open this to a wider and wider audience. The reasons behind doing closed testing versus an open should be pretty obvious. Just we obviously want to make sure that there aren't any loops, any bugs that like impact the user's experience. And also it gives us the ability to at a one-on-one or a more personal level with these small groups, like ask people to do X, Y, and Z, try to break this or break that. And so we're already getting like really good feedback on it and how to make minor changes. And to the other point, just to keep everyone abreast as much as possible. The reason why we started yesterday versus Friday, Magic Eden and like a number of platforms, it's not really just even them, just pushed like updates to their APIs regarding like Metaplex's upgrade for PNFTs. And so we're kind of like from Wednesday or Thursday into the weekend, like managing that, requesting it. It's all up now, and we've actually found a loophole for when these platforms put out updates in the future to kind of be able to kind of brute force our way through these issues that we came across. Outside of that, regarding I think it kind of really answers the testing well enough.
Yep. So that's got to be ongoing. Like we definitely like there's going to be a time limit to when that ends and when we start going to the beta and opening it up to all our holders. We're not going to give time frames for things going forward, just because of how, I guess, fluid and dynamic the market is, and just like Jake said, small little changes like an API from a marketplace can throw things a couple of days. So it's we're moving forward. It's exciting, and that's basically it for Core Alpha at the moment. So let me just check the Holder Chat and Gen Chat to see if anyone's brought up any questions.
Yeah, while you're checking that, I can also mention in regards to progress for Black Market. So again, once Core is into the more open testing stage, in regards to like more collections of the first batch, it's not going to be just any. Also more users. It will be like we're just running Core as we have said anyway. So liquidations will be a reality. So I guess I should make it clear there. In this closed alpha testing, if someone doesn't actually want the NFT they're buying, we can easily just cover the SOL that's required on their side to run these tests. Obviously, once we start applying this to like SMBs or DGODs, that's not going to be the case. And so towards Black Market, in the weeks to come, once we start opening this wider and wider, we should start to see some liquidation events. Again, I hope none ever happen, but I think we will see them, obviously. And so, yeah, just to make sure you have your notifications on in regard to the Black Market channel in the Discord, as well as just the Twitter, because we'll obviously announce like what we're putting in there. Also, mid this week, you'll see come our announcement about our black market spotlight. So again, I've told everyone how, yes, black market is primarily part of the funnel for core, but it also gives us the ability to shine a spotlight on these one-of-one artists. And so we already have, I think, over 6 weeks of artists that have come on, that will be doing exclusive releases on black market only. We've also partnered with a pretty substantial community to run a lot of their upcoming releases on black market. I'll save the announcement of that for marketing, but you all will know who they are. We think, that's about it.
While you're thinking, Razikin's got a couple of questions about royalties updates and staking updates. Can we just get a little bit more clarification? Are you talking about royalties for projects that are enforcing it through the core protocol, or to do with UGS royalties, our royalties? Okay, quick little update on that. A lot of the feedback was get your utilities out before you do any sort of royalty enforcement, and we think that's fair. That let's prove ourselves and then look at doing royalty, not enforcement. What was the word it was more incentivization. As for the staking that would be able to use that, so the XLab solution, I'm not sure. I think we talked about it in the past, but we went through that process. So after that grant application went through, the proposal from the sub-DAOs, we started the process of getting our devs in contact with XLabs to start getting it implemented. Once that happened, we found out that their solution is not actually on chain, which does have some issues when it comes to our lending pools. So part of the way we're doing our lending pools is that the staking needs to be locked up for a certain period of time to be accessed, those initial private lending pools, and therefore the XLab solution was not fit for purpose, I guess is the final answer. But that doesn't mean that we aren't looking into a solution similar to that, but we were just it's dev resources at this point, and it's making sure that all our focus is on getting core out, because that's not both our main selling point but also our, I guess, main revenue source to continue moving forward. I don't know if Jake has anything to add to that, but that was sort of the thought process behind it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where X Labs kind of ended, right? Like, we're very chain maxi, not like just to Solana, but just like I like on-chain data versus off-chain data, right? And so their solution is not on-chain. It would require like I mentioned in the beginning, like making Cardinal very aware of this, and also requiring everyone to kind of migrate their staking, right? And so again, not on chain, that's a negative. The time that it would take to do this for the user, that's negative. And also the dev resources at the moment, like we agreed, we should just concentrate on getting core out, because the devs would have to obviously be all involved with that. Going forward, I think we'll probably have like another meeting with the faction councils or even like just an open town hall regarding royalties and see what people's opinions are of PNFTs and Metaplex's upgrade. I think giving them time for giving all of us time really to see what breaks on this upgrade and what works. We'll probably have a more informed ability to make that decision, but that's where we're at with staking for now. Or I'm sorry, staking and royalties.
Hope that answers the question. Yep, thanks. That's good. Okay, so I don't see any other questions from an IT perspective. We don't have Cron in here anyway. I know Jake could probably answer some of them, but that's probably all I've got for the dev side of things. We'll have our update on Wednesday as usual. So I guess some transparency on that. Why we have the dev update on Wednesday is because that they have a large team meeting on the Tuesday. So that's just a good opportunity for us to drop at that date, and why it's not part of the town hall. Okay, so what if we go into some community style stuff now? Some of you may have noticed or not noticed, but Paja, who's in the crowd now, has joined the Mordax sub-council, which will be nice to get a bit more added support for ARC and Bonkers moving forward to go in their direction. So welcome, Paja. I'll be interested to get in touch and hear another, I guess, more local tone and voice in the faction council meetings. Other than that, we have our Super Bowl event that finished. I won't bring that up too much because Schaefer might get too upset as a Philly boy. But I'll go through and post that announcement afterwards for the winners. It looks like Mordax were way off base and not one person from Mordax picked the Chiefs, so I went with the closest point spreads for the Mordax faction. So I don't know what that means for the community, but they were way off base. Did you have anything else, Schaefer or Socrates, that you wanted to add from a community perspective at all?
Well, the game was rigged, obviously, but yeah, from the community perspective, Jake said it before, we have one-of-one artist spotlights dropping next week, and we'll have it every week basically until May, with basically the best one-of-one artists on Solana. And then kind of to hype it up, we kind of brush over things here a little too much at UGS. Yesterday, someone bought a UGS on leverage essentially for 3 SOL and could sell it for like access profits essentially they wouldn't have before. So pretty exciting stuff happening in alpha testing already. And then more will go live in 17 minutes for more testing. And then we'll keep pumping more people into it as we go. So super, super exciting stuff, and only going to get more exciting as February goes on.
So do we want to talk about the black market auctions? So that was planned to start today. We had a minor delay, and it was just due to the raffle house. And I guess it's the ongoing story is it's just dev resourcing. So as always, core's our main focus at the moment. And that just meant that the one-of-one raffle just had to get pushed slightly, but not long. And I think someone asked in the Gen chat. I'll get back to them after this and type that answer if I haven't. My brain's fried. It's still early in the morning, but that's the reasoning why it got pushed a couple of days or a week, because just dev resourcing mainly. But we got some cool events lined up for that as well. I don't know if any of these took place in the monster hunts that ARC were running for Mordax. So we're actually going to integrate that with Millie Moy's first one, and there'll be an NFT up for grabs that from my personal collection that might be interesting to some of you that have a bit of a, I guess, like one-of-one art. But keep an eye out for that. That's all I really have. Like, there's a ton going on behind the scenes at the moment, but again, our main focus is on core. Did anyone have anything they wanted to bring up, or before we move on? It might be a quick one today, and I was sort of hoping it'd be a quick one because we do have to jump into those alpha testing straight after this at the top of the hour.
Yeah, no, other than that, all I have is, like we said, alpha testing for the rest of the week. We have spaces. A big one, though, we're hosting on Thursday, the 16th, with Monk DAO Hyperspace. So you might want to just hop in there on Thursday. But yeah, as we go on, more alpha, more hype tweets, I guess you can say, of people accessing leverage or buying now, paying later with core. So yeah, super, super exciting stuff.
Okay, Razikin's got some more questions. He's on fire this morning. Do we plan to launch faction missions before core official is out? So I'm assuming, is that the gamified staking that you're talking about there? And then, yep. No, so, quick, short answer, no. That's to be planned after core. We don't want to delay that anymore, and like it's just it's like I feel like a broken record, but it's dev resourcing and making sure that we're running a tight ship, I guess financially as well, to make sure we can get that revenue generation up and be able to provide value for the gamified staking. So a large portion of that gamified staking and the rewards that are going to be part of these faction missions will be from the revenue. I just got to be careful how I say things from a legal aspect, but I guess it's part of our workaround so we don't become a security and don't have the rev share legality issues, but still reward our holders and especially those that are active. So it's more of a what's the word, like an engaged to earn than a rev share style sort of thing. Sorry, I'm stumbling a bit because I just got to make sure that I use the correct terminology. As for lore updates, we do have. I believe they're still coming. I haven't heard anything otherwise. I know our rider Monarch has been putting in daily logs with updates on how far they are going through the next factions. Part of that is also the art that's required to put them together. I know it's not a lot, but Gecko is pretty full on with the UI UX of our utilities at the moment. And the lore is a value add, but that is definitely still on the agenda moving forward. As for timeline for it, I don't have that answer right now. And then the black market, that's like we said, coming soon, and that will be before the core official. We've already launched that. We'll be back up and running ASAP. I guess the only other thing would be the staking. I'm not sure. I heard maybe it's back up and running today. I haven't confirmed yet. First thing this morning, but that was again another Cardinal changed a lot of their source code that affected how our stuff runs, and it was trying to get that fixed up without slowing down the alpha testing. So I believe that's up and running. Is that right, Shafe, or we're not sure yet?
I would say just put out an update when we're 100%.
Yep.
I don't want to say something I'm not 100%.
Yes. But we do have that workaround by going directly through Cardinal.
Staking's done. I just don't know if it's been pushed, But
Yep.
it's done. He's moved on to the next thing.
Okay, awesome. Hope that answers all those questions. But short answer: gamified staking's after core. Lore updates, they're not dependent on core whatsoever, so it's just once the story's been finalised. I know there was some changes to the direction that the lore was going in, based on some feedback on it from, I guess, Gecko back to the writer, because I know we did have a fair chunk of chapters already written, but we're moving in, I guess, a slightly different direction. So that's sort of the hold up for that, but it's coming. That's all I have. Thanks everyone for coming along. I love seeing the same regular faces show up, and I'm hope you get value from these weekly town halls. But I think it's a great opportunity for us to bring up what's happening and for you guys to ask any questions you may have. I see a lot of banter around the around the Super Bowl, so maybe just don't jump in holder chat anytime soon, Schaefer.
Thanks everyone for coming out, and if you're interested in alpha testing, just reach out to Searcher. You might have an opportunity to do that, but gonna expand and open up to holders soon. So really hyped for what's coming. You can't tell.
We would love to have everyone do the alpha testing. I guess it's just there's the question of liquidity. Like, this is basically us using liquidity that can't be used for future projects. We have a bit of a workaround because we're going to be using our own team allocation for those buying, and then that aren't planning on keeping. So it's basically we'll just buy our own NFT back with the same liquid that we put up. Reimbursing
people.
Yep.
All these things. Yeah.
Yep. But again, it's trying not to use up too much of that liquidity moving forward. Well, let's wrap it up. I'll close off the recording.